When they decide this is the way they're going to go, this is when we start working on our timing.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 7, Columbia County residents looking to learn more on handling the area's traffic problems.
Record-tying heat today, and some more of those records may fall before the week is done. Forecast coming up next.
Also tonight, some South Carolina lawmakers are speaking out against the merger between Dominion Energy and SCANA. Your News at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching News Channel 6 at 7. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, coverage you can count on begins with traffic in Columbia County. Drivers have a chance to learn more about how the overall traffic system works. News Channel 6's Renetta Dubose tells us more about what people can learn in this class.
I always have to search for a light.
More congestion than I kind of expected.
It's no secret, traffic in Columbia County can be a nightmare at times. But as Evans, Martinez, Grovetown, and everywhere else in the county grows, the Traffic Engineering Department is working to make sure your time on the pavement runs smoothly.
We're fortunate that we have an ITS system, an intelligent traffic system here that actually help to maintain control over some of this. I would hate to see how the congestion would have been without the sophisticated equipment that we currently have.
It's something like a movie screen inside Columbia County's traffic office. A team of 10 responsible for more than 3,000 intersections and 74 traffic signals have a bird's eye view of traffic patterns with the help of 79 PTZ cameras.
A lot of people have in their mind a certain way that traffic flows and what causes it to flow that way. And most of the time, it's not exactly accurate. Things have changed a lot from back in the day with the old timers. Everything is adaptive.
Randy Prickett says there are about a dozen coordinated traffic corridors. Columbia Road, Flowing Wells Road, Riverwatch Parkway, and Washington Road are all part of that system. As many as 40 signals are in each corridor sharing information, and drivers can report issues they see on these roads too to help the system run better.
When you tie the Washington Road signals together, you've got to tie the sides. When you turn off Washington Road onto a signal like Flowing Wells, that's a short distance. You've got to have that where, okay, you got to have somewhere for those cars coming off Washington Road where they're going to go. So you got to coordinate all that together.
Renetta Dubose, WJBF News Channel 6.
The next class will be this Thursday at 10 a.m. and it's about 45 minutes to an hour long. You will need to call ahead to reserve a spot. All of that information is on our website, WJBF.com. A plan requiring people traveling downtown to pay to park is moving forward. Today, commissioners approved accepting bids to hire a private firm to run the program. Under the plan, drivers would pay by the hour in the Central Business District from 8 until 8 Monday through Saturday. The plan is calling for 2 public hearings on the parking plan to educate the public and to take questions. Mayor Davis wants to see the program up and running by July. Adult entertainment in Augusta could be grinding to a halt. Augusta commissioners reject a plan to allow the club licenses to be transferred to an heir. Commissioners heard a loud outcry from those who said the clubs hurt property values and hinder redevelopment in the lower end of downtown. So now, under the city code, when the current strip club owner quits or dies, the clubs go out of business. Some commissioners suggest revisiting the city code to allow the clubs to open in industrial areas and serve alcohol. Right now, liquor sales are not permitted. One South Carolina liquor store owner is speaking out as lawmakers consider Sunday liquor sales. Right now, you can only buy liquor between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. A bill introduced in the State House last week would let counties allow voters to choose if they want Sunday sales.
I think if you were open till 9 o'clock, it seems like it's a reasonable time. It would benefit everybody and it would bring more taxes into the state.
If the bill passes, only counties with at least $1 million in hotel tax revenue would allow voters to weigh in. Well, members of the Legislative Black Caucus expressed their frustrations to General Counsel for Dominion Energy. The utility company was recently approved to merge with SCANA Energy. Georgia Godfrey was at that meeting.
In reference to the $1,000, retracting what you all have done.
What I will say
is this a yes or no?
Representative John King from York County expressed his frustration with the merger between Dominion Energy and utility company SCANA.
You all were here last year badgering us to get this deal to happen. You all were badgering my constituents and my colleagues' constituents.
The merger was recently approved after SCANA accumulated billions of dollars in debt for a nuclear plant that didn't go online. But some lawmakers feel that merger was approved under false pretenses.
Our constituents are calling, they're beckoning us, whatever you do, you take, we want that $1,000. You make sure you make it happen. Because if these people going to come to South Carolina.
The original proposal included a $1,000 refund for customers, but during the course of a month-long hearing, another proposal was brought to the table that lowered utility rates but did not come with that refund.
After 11 months and after 3 weeks of trial at the PSC, 5 days a week, going 10 hours a day, it became clear to us that if our objective as a business was to complete the merger, that Plan A was not going to be approved.
Ultimately, the Public Service Commission decided to accept Plan B, which means no refund for customers. Lawmakers plan now to reevaluate the agency they say should have vetted the proposals for the best deal for customers.
They dropped the ball also. They should say, they have to share some of the responsibility.
In Columbia, George Reed Godfrey, WJBF News Channel 6.
The nuclear drama continues tomorrow. Santee Cooper, the other half of this conversation and investment, is up for sale to offset its portion of the debt. Tomorrow, lawmakers will take a look at the first round of bids. Well, the former Allendale city administrator is pleading guilty to stealing federal funds. The U.S. Attorney's Office says 48-year-old Harold Dwayne Ennis Jr. made the plea Monday. Ennis was the town administrator in Allendale since 2000. Court documents show Ennis began diverting money from the town to personal and unofficial uses in 2015. He faces up to 10 years in prison. An important clarification to bring you about a story we reported yesterday. A woman has filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission claiming she was harassed because of her religion. She worked at Farmhouse Burgers on Broad Street in Augusta. She says she converted to Islam in June of last year. She says when she started wearing her hijab to work, she says the owner harassed her and her hours were eventually cut. Owner of the restaurant, Sean White, sent us a statement denying the allegations and saying this is a personnel issue. The statement reads in part, "It is disappointing that this former employee is choosing to spread lies and distort the facts." He goes on to say, "Throughout my entire professional life, at every restaurant I've worked at or owned, I've encouraged and promoted diversity. People of all sexual orientations, races, and of multiple religious affiliations have worked harmoniously together." You can read his full statement on WJBF.com. Big raises for employees in Augusta's juvenile court office are dead for now. Juvenile court officials asked for $138,000 in salary increases for office employees. One of those raises would give one employee an increase of more than $56,000. She is the daughter of Superior Court Judge Farrell Brown. Commissioners say the court was asking for too much.
I think really it was just something that it would just put us so much inequity in pay in the government, even though that's what we were being accused of, that's actually happening. But in this case, it was just totally lopsided, and it was just unfair to the rest of the 2,500 employees that Augusta County has.
A smaller raise package for the court employees will go into effect later this month. A power outage at Augusta Regional Airport grounded multiple flights today. It happened around 2 a.m. and was fixed around 2 p.m. A failed electrical component caused the problem, and the replacement had to come from the manufacturer in Columbia. News Channel 6's Ashley Osborne shares how it impacted travelers.
We had to get up at 2 this morning.
Laura Slaughter, one of many sleepy passengers who boarded a bus sent by Delta instead of a plane to get to Atlanta's airport.
How has the process been trying to get things rearranged? Has it been a massive headache or has it been
No,
fairly
it's been
easy?
pretty good, and Delta's been really good and really nice to help us.
Some News Channel 6 viewers say they were frustrated. They didn't get a notification and showed up to the airport in the wee hours of the morning only to find out they couldn't fly. Laura just shrugs it off.
It's just life. Stuff happens.
You got your people who do get irate, but you just you can't do nothing about it.
Ryan Barrett was here on business.
I was supposed to be home about lunch today, but it looks like I'll be stuck here for another night.
Bigger than any meeting, he'll miss his first premarital counseling session with his soon-to-be bride. Thankfully, his customer lives in Augusta and picked him back up.
Hey, he's coming to my wedding, so.
Smiles now, but the morning was a little hectic. And by lunchtime, practically empty. Dark halls and no one going through security.
People enter into the system where they can go from any airport to anywhere in the world, essentially. So those screening protocols are critical and they can't be bypassed.
For those who've had a negative experience today and they're thinking, maybe I do need to go to Atlanta, what do you do to assure them that this is the place they need to fly out of?
Unfortunately, this type of stuff happens. And we work very hard to be proactive to make sure that it doesn't.
They'll analyze the situation to see what they can do differently in the future.
Does it change your opinion of flying in and out of Augusta Regional?
No, because it could happen anywhere.
Ashley Osborne, WJBF News Channel 6.
Augusta Regional says work with your airline directly for flight reimbursement or changes. The airport does not typically reimburse things like rental cars, but says they will process each customer complaint on a case-by-case basis.
It was a record-tying day today. High temperature pushed to 81 degrees, tying the old record of 81 set back in 2008 after a mild start of 43. 11 our coldest ever, set a few years back in 1996. Right now, a very mild February evening across Georgia and South Carolina. Jiffy Lube Skyview Network. Currently we're at 66. Winds are calm and temperatures across the remainder of the viewing area. Still very warm. Look at the middle 70s. Abilene, Grovetown, Fort Gordon, Hepzibah, 77 right now in Jackson with a 72 in downtown Augusta. No rain. Forecast coming up for this evening. Partly cloudy and mild. Temps in the 60s through 10 o'clock. Tell you when it's going to cool off coming up in just a second. Dee?
Still ahead.
Look, I don't think that the president's message is going to be different than the one he's been talking about since he started campaigning.
Still ahead, we take a look at what to expect out of President Trump's State of the Union address tonight.